Hello, thank you for joining me again for another session. Today we're going to continue our look as we consider idiomatic language in English. And last time we were looking specifically at the way we might use phrases like interjections. So there is a link to that video if you do want to watch that. You don't have to watch the first one for this one to make sense, but you might enjoy it. Today we're going to focus on the names for things that are around the house or the home and how we commonly talk about them. Okay, so we refer to them with specific names that may be a little bit confusing if you're learning English. The first one we're going to start with is Hoover. So Hoover refers to the vacuum cleaner. Now in the States, in America, they will refer to it more as vacuuming, but you will hear Brits say it as to hoover. So we say that we hoover the carpet. I'm going to run the hoover over the carpet. So we're using the brand name, the original brand name from decades ago, and we're still using it to action it like a verb. So if you hear somebody say that, that's what they're referring to. Okay. The second one really refers to aspects of a house, of features in a house. So one is the word we use for stairs, or the phrase we use for stairs, which is the wooden hill, because of course stairs are often made of wood. In a really modern house they might be made of metal or concrete, but usually wood. So it's not a hill, but it is a kind of hill. Stairs made of wood, so we refer to it as the wooden hill. So somebody might say, I'm going up the wooden hill to bed. Okay. Leading on to that is another phrase that's sort of connected, which is to hit the sack. So we commonly call the bed the sack. And we might use it in a couple of ways. So, you know, maybe if you've got a teenager at home, you might say, are you going to get out of your sack? You know, it's like midday. But you might also say that you want to hit the sack. And we use the verb hit, and I'm not sure why, if I'm honest, but we just do. So we often say I'm going to hit the sack, and it means I'm going to bed. Okay. Thinking about rooms in the house, I was quite surprised to learn recently that one of my students has very advanced English and they didn't really know what a loo was. So I was trying to explain it is actually a bathroom. And again, in America, they often say the bathroom, but we would say the loo. Quite informal, but not rude. And that's an expression we use to talk about the bathroom. Okay. There's a couple more I'd like to share with you. So another one is how we might talk about using the telephone. I'm going to introduce a little bit of Cockney rhyming slang in this session because I think it would be really nice to do in another class. Although it's not used as much nowadays, but some of those terms have still filtered through, so they're still used. So we might refer to the phone as the dog and bone because it rhymes. It has nothing to do with dogs or bones. Or the blower. We sometimes say, oh yeah, I'll get on the blower. And we might refer to that as a mobile or a phone. It's just generally making a call to somebody. Yeah. Two more I'd like to share with you. One is how we might refer to the television. So in the UK, we often call it the box. Because traditionally it would have been a very boxy part of furniture in the house. It would have been quite bulky and boxy, and people would say, what's on the box? Let's see what's on the box. But of course nowadays it doesn't really apply because the design and technology of televisions is much more slimline. So if you heard somebody say, oh well, what's on the box, you'd probably be thinking, what are they talking about? And this is what they mean. And I think that probably covers all of them for today. Oh, there is one more. So the other word we sometimes use to talk about a small space within a house is a cubby hole. Now this is used in other countries too, but sometimes it might take on a slightly different meaning. So in the UK, it means a small space, like maybe a cupboard under the stairs or a space under the stairs where you work. And so that's your cubby hole. Okay, so I hope it's been helpful today. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like to try and bring some terminology to the classes that are commonly used, but you may have heard, and again, you don't know what they are, or you've actually learnt them as new phrases, because it could come in useful. Please leave a like if you liked and consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.